Good day. Video upload for first time in a couple of years, I think. Got a new toy here to try out, and I hadn't seen any videos, so thought I'd try uploading one. I believe they just introduced these in 2021. This is the Browning Primal gut tool. One of those gut hook type units. I'd recently got a deer with my cousin, and I borrowed his buck gut hook blade combo thing, and well, I kind of liked I'd never used a gut hook, and I kind of liked the gut hook part for unzipping the gut cavity. I didn't like the fact that it had a blade on the other side, which seemed kind of prone to me getting a cut when I was working with slippery stuff. And there's nowhere to rest my sort of finger as I was pulling along. I didn't like the pulling aspect too. Kind of like this idea of maybe pushing along. I'll try it later on a piece of hide I got outside. Anyhow, got this. Had looked into the other ones. There was Outdoor Edge, has a zipper or zip tool or something of that nature. This was more ready available. Although, of course, today our local Canadian Tire has the zip tool on half price, but I think I might be sticking with this. This has a better steel than the other one. So we'll just dive right into it. I'll open it up here in a little bit, but this is a very thick blade. Your hand on there, and it's got the little some serrations and along. Also comes with a little ballistic nylon sheath. Details. Like I said, this has a little bit better steel than the Outdoor Edge one. 8CR13 MOV stainless versus I think they have 420J steel, which is pretty marginal stuff. One thing to consider is that to sharpen this, you're going to have a round sort of ceramic, probably rod or something to sharpen, just because it's a curve. So you're going to be sharpening it a lot with crappy steel. So this is probably close to 440, one of the 440s or 8 AUS or something. Anyways, blade profile for opening up abdominal cavities without damaging the entrails. As you can see, the blunt sort of end there. And anti-skid grooves on the blade spine, and polymer handle with rubber overmold, probably helps with slipping. And nylon belt sheath, made in our favorite place of all, China. And there's the product code 3220424. I think the MSRP on these is about $35. Everywhere in Canada I saw was somewhere between 25 and 30. Except Canadian Tire, they had it for 50. Obviously they have it priced incorrectly, of course. So there we have that. I will whip that open in a moment. And yeah, save you the grief of watching that, trying to open a bubble packet here without cutting something like a sheath, my hand or something like that. Alright, back in a moment. Alright, movie magic, we're back. There we go. Some instructions, Browning. Looks pretty useless because I don't think you can sharpen on the... They're showing us sharpening the blade on the outside edge, which we have it on the inside, so handy dandy. Nylon sheath, riveted all around. pretty sturdy. Ambidextrous. Blade go any way you care to hold it. Let's look at this knife. Hang on, I'll just grab it. What do we got here? About 7.5 inches overall. Actual cutting edge, 2.5, 2 3/4. Like I said, it's thick as all get out, but anyways, that's that. Very thick piece of steel there. Very dull edge, but it's probably something to do with how thick it is. Probably could be profiled a bit to get it a bit of an edge. Round it off there, so when you're zippering along. Rubberized scales on top of something else there. But that's pretty grippy. Wonder if the scales come off. Full length tang. Some good grippiness there. Edges probably could be just sanded off a tiny bit. They're not too bad though. It's got a model on there. Not too bad. This is sort of what I was talking about versus the gut hook, whereas this sort of zips under the skin and runs along the meat, like if you're doing a hind leg zipping off the skin, and it doesn't cut into your meat. And same as when you're into the gut, it's just running along underneath the cavity, running against the gut sac itself, wouldn't cut into it. Whereas the gut hook, if the gut hook is here, and on the particular buck that my cousin had, this was a sharp blade, so I felt that my hand it didn't have much of a protection there. My hand and you're pulling against it, pulling towards you, I felt my hand could slip up onto the edge of the blade there. You know, I'm not a total loser, but that could happen. And I also felt like I wanted to have my hand closer to the actual hook to put some, have a little bit of better control. That was not happening with that. And the hook itself was a very tight little thing. You can imagine on a deer with late in the fall, with lots of hair on there. Could get all clumped up with hair. Anyways, that's not what this is. This is a pushing zipper thing with good control, full handful. Not half bad. And yeah, and I like the fact that it's a little bit better steel than an outer edge. I think my cousin's going to buy one of those because they're on half price right now. Maybe we can have a compare and contrast if we get another deer. See which one works the best. The old buck Primal tool or the outer edge, whatever zip tool. Anyways, that's what we have. Browning Primal gut tool. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.